Hello everybody and welcome to another session of Bigfoot Tales, and today I'm going to jump on the tour bus and take you to Connecticut, to a little town called New Fairfield. It's right on the New York border. It's just a little bit north of Danbury, Connecticut. And we're going to do a little bit different today by talking about something other than a Bigfoot. But it is a mysterious thing, and it does have to deal with cryptozoology and a mysterious animal. And, well, actually, it's kind of a funny story. But it does illustrate as to what can happen to people when they get a little bit too carried away with their emotions, and instead of checking things out, they just make presumptions and jump to conclusions. But it's a short story. It's a funny one. Just thought I'd do something a little bit different for a change, and see if we can get a little bit of humor going here. But as I said, this comes out of New Fairfield. It's just north of Danbury, Connecticut. And this actually comes out of a Canadian newspaper. It's the St. John's Evening Telegram, and it's dated Monday, January 21st of 1889. Headline: Thought it was a ghost. Strange animal that drove a whole township wild. And we'll get right into the article, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. I do appreciate you stopping in and visiting for a while, but let's get right into the article. This section of Western Connecticut was a veritable spook stumping ground in the opinion of hundreds of people until the sequel of the manifestations was told today. Unearthly noises, ghosts, goblins, and banshees herald high carnival in the towns of New Fairfield, Brookfield, and Newton for the past 2 weeks. And the stories told of noises heard and strange apparitions seen by people who were fairly intelligent and who are counted exceedingly level-headed on all of the subject, surpass belief. William Cuthbert Knowlton of New Fairfield was returning home late on the night of December 6th, when from a clump of bushes near his home issued what was an animal, apparently, and blocked his way. Thinking it was a dog, he called and then whistled, but the only response it gave was by rising to an erect posture when it somewhat resembled a man, and snapping its eyes at him. Gaining courage, he rushed towards it with the intention of driving it from his way, when he discovered it was neither brute nor man, and resembled nothing he had ever seen before. It was white, and its covering was shiny as the skin of a human being. It was about the size of a young yearling heifer, but was automatically different to any beast he had ever seen before. It did not get out of his way, and made no attempt to stay his progress, though he felt that his clothing touched it in passing, sending a chill feeling to his very marrow. When at a safe distance, as he thought, he turned to look at it. It was apparently in the same spot, though in a reversed position. He then, he says, shouted at it and dug up a stone preparatory to stoning it, when the uncanny thing, giving a series of unearthly yells, darted into the woods. Well, this man, more dead than alive, finally reached his home, and a doctor was called to administer a sedative for his shattered nerves. Since then, hundreds have seen it. The next night it was in Sandy Hook, a village 10 miles away from the scene of the exploit related above, where its terrible cries alarmed a party of over 100 people who were attending a wake. This party, in which were several men, turned back to the house of the dead as soon as the unknown sounds reached their ears, and did not depart till morning. The story of their alarm spread, and, coming to the knowledge of some devotee of superstition, it was then given the name, immortalized by Tom Moore and General Griffin, the Banshee. The following night, the men on a freight train which stops at a coaling station midway between the places named above were witnesses of the apparition. The cars were run on a siding, and, leaving one man at the switch to warn them of approaching trains, the others departed with the engine and tender to attend to the duty of coaling up. When they returned, they found the man they had left on guard in a swoon. They brought him to, and were anxiously inquiring what ailed him, when from the edge of the clearing came the most unnatural sounds, as of someone in mortal agony. They rushed to see what caused the hubbub. They had only gone a few steps when they saw a sight which quickly made all hands turn back. It was a white-looking object with fiery eyes, which, after looking at them an instant, gave the same yell that had aroused them before, and then fled into the darkness. The conductor quickly gave the order to move the train, which was obeyed with alacrity. The story spread, and the brakeman refused to stand guard alone at this spot, preferring a discharge to risking the terrors of what had been heard. These are some of the causes of affright which have given this neighborhood such a bad name in the past few days, and which were fast creating a veritable reign of terror. They are all set at rest today by the report of the shooting of the terrible animal by a party of hunters who heard the reports of apparitions and were on the lookout for the cause. It proved to be a yearling heifer with its head and body encased in a lady's white underskirt. The head was pushed through the belt of the waist, while the skirt covered its body, its forelegs having found an exit for themselves through a slit on the side. How it came thus, no one seems to know. It may have been done in a joke, or it was the result of a predatory excursion in some backyard by the poor foolish thing. If so, it lost its life as a penalty for its folly, but the spook are banished. And that's the end of the story. It's just like I said, a quick article, but it's a rather humorous one. And it does goes to show, that if you're not careful of what you're doing, you can really cause a commotion that can cause problems that you really don't want to have to deal with here in the world of Bigfooting. Many times we've seen people put stuff up on YouTube, jumping to the conclusion that it's something, when in fact it's really not. And that gives a lot of fodder for the those of us that like to do breakdowns of things, but it doesn't do a whole lot towards advancing the cause of serious Bigfoot research. So let that be a lesson. Before you go crying spook, make sure it's actually a spook that you're going to talk about. But it's just a quick and easy one today. We'll catch you next time on Bigfoot Tales, and we'll see where the Bigfoot Tales tour bus takes you next time. And don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and check out my books on the link located below. And we'll see you next time here on Bigfoot Tales, and until then, enjoy.